What's up, you guys? What's up? Coming to you with the vlog of the day. Beautiful Santa Monica, stunning Southern California. It is amazing. It is beautiful. I think I'm gonna go get a coffee, grab something to sip on my trip back home. Um, so I think the topic of discussion today is actually going to be millennials in the workplace, um, and why a lot of companies, a lot of people um, have these, not necessarily call them issues, but let's just say you're butting heads with the millennial generation. Case in point, um, the difference from previous generations to the generation of the now, millennials or Generation Y, Z, whatever you want to call us, is the difference in knowledge and access to information. You have to understand that as things change, as the years go by, so does reality and society change. Um, our generation, my generation, typically, we were born in the 90s, big ups to the 90s kids. Um, we were raised with all of this technology, all of this expanse and information and knowledge, and there wasn't any, how would I put it, there weren't clearly set boundaries on the access to knowledge and access to information. So therefore, you have a whole bunch of kids and young adults now who are filled with so much of this information and knowledge, and they don't have a necessary, they don't necessarily have a great outlet for it, um, due to the access of knowledge and to the access of opportunities. Uh, they're finding difficult. They're finding it very difficult to express themselves. They're finding it very difficult to branch out and do what they truly believe in and do what they truly want to do. Um, I think the biggest thing is that when it comes to authority or authoritarian figures, um, due to the fact that millennials are more in tune and they are more, how would I put it? No, let's face it, they're more intelligent. Um, it leaves this rift and this void when it comes to managing them, managing their well being, and managing what you see or seek them to do in the workplace. I think the biggest thing is finding a middle ground and a level ground of understanding and trying to find a means to understand the difference in age and the gap in social and mental intellect. Um, when working with millennials in the workplace, I think one of the things that should not be done, especially towards a millennial, is to go ahead is to tell them specifically what they can and cannot do, because it's like subjecting it's literally like subjecting a genius to limits and telling them, oh, you can only, or better yet, I don't like to use rats as an example, but putting a mouse in a box and only letting the mouse run around in a square box. But when you unlock a door or pull up a side and you open up a gateway so the way they have options, and the mouse is able to explore and expand, so to speak, its consciousness or its intellect. It's the same with the millennial. We learn things differently. We process information much differently than our parents and our parents' parents. And because of that, when it comes to working with millennials in the workplace, people can think that we come off as pretentious or spoiled or um, adverse to taking authority or taking direction when that's not the case. It's just a certain way of doing things. It's kind of like when you have the retail shops that didn't keep up with the change and the switch in the e-commerce and the electronic shopping online, on on social media and all of that. you slowly start to see that a lot of the shops and things they dwindle, and a lot of them have closed down because of it. When it comes to learning new concepts and presenting new concepts for a new workforce and expanding the diversity in that workforce, you have to learn and find different ways to present yourself and present yourself as a company to that new wave of human beings, I like to say. Um, I would say the best way to appeal to a millennial is actually open up uh, your doors of business to actually attracting more millennials as well to shop, to pay for services, whatever have you, is to find ways to move with that curve and change and reality in society. One of the biggest things is technology, and since technology is ever changing and constantly moving around, you as a shop or a business owner, or you as a person in general, if you're not from this particular generation, um, to find ways to be adaptable, to adapt. Hi, how are you? May I have a, may I please have a grande mocha made with almond milk? With grande mocha with almond milk. No, hot, please. No whipped cream. Wow, you actually pronounced my name correctly. Thank you. Oh. You're non-observant, or do you? Same here. Um, so that's the biggest thing is finding a way to bridge that gap and divide, and finding a level playing field to um, work with them and to find a way that they can work with you. So you guys, at the end of this video, stay tuned for the next video. I'll be posting pretty soon. And that's millennials in the workplace and millennials in society. Peace.